That is the George Pickens trade to the Dallas Cowboys, Devin. Um, so word got out. I want to say maybe even before last pod, and we didn't really talk about it.
Well, I
If
brought
not,
it up.
did you?
Yeah. Go back.
Did I?
Watch.
Did I? Did I blow you off? What did I?
But it was a legitimate blow off because I think we were talking about Aaron and there was I saw that there was a whisper about a trade rumor with Pickens,
Okay.
and I was like, I don't even know where that came from. That makes no sense. Why the fuck would they trade George Pickens?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then what? 2 days later, it gets traded,
For a third and fifth round pick.
which is and these fucking trades have been every
And
every trade in recent NFL history has been for a late pick.
there's a lot of reports, and they all have like a core like reasoning behind why George Pickens was traded.
His fucking attitude.
It's because he doesn't outplay his attitude. If
No,
if George
not on that
Pickens
Steelers team.
if George Pickens could outplay his attitude, he'd still be
Consistently.
consistently outplay his attitude. Yes, he would still be a Steeler, but it's literally this is the Steelers' track record of they're gonna get rid of that receiver. I mean, what?
They're gonna, yeah.
Antonio Brown, Chase Claypool, fucking.
Well, if AB was fucking off like he was later in his career
Well, no,
on the Steelers,
he
he
was
started to. Yeah,
I'm about to say that's what kind of got him That's what kind of got him kicked out. That's what got him traded. Was it traded to the Raiders?
Raiders, I think so. Yeah.
I believe traded to the Raiders.
Because yeah.
But I mean, Juju, Martavius Bryant, Deontay Johnson. Like
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson did all
Deontay
that
Johnson
shit.
won't play anywhere.
Won't play anywhere. So
his attitude is so bad. What was it? The Panthers or the Texans?
Panthers, Texans, and then came to the Ravens, and we cut him, and then brought him back, and then got rid of him again. Like,
yeah,
the Steelers know, and Mike Tomlin. It came out that Mike Tomlin was behind this, and
maybe they're the problem. Maybe they're breeding fucking jackass receivers.
Well, they're wasting. They're just wasting their time, honestly.
For real, yeah.
Mike Tomlin's sitting here like trying to develop his next like prodigy receiver, and then he goes, "You know what? Nah,
exactly.
We don't need him."
Well, man. I'm gonna be honest. If I was George, I'm not saying I would want out, but I can see why he would want out. You don't know who your quarterback is. We're almost fucking to the season. You're about to start a season with Mason Rudolph. And
I believe I believe that's what came out. Is like that's what his worry was.
Oh, really?
I don't know who my quarterback's gonna be.
Yeah. Well, it's like you know what you're getting in Dak for the most part. Like if he's healthy, and that's fucking first round exit.
But that's what I'm saying. Like for people who, I guess for people who don't like the Steelers or the Cowboys, at least you know this is like this. It's definitely going to hurt the Steelers in terms of just production. And then you got on the other side, it's Pickens to the Cowboys, which CD and George Pickens, it's cool, but when they're both bitching about needing the ball more, and Dak only has one football on the field, it's kind of going to be a problem.
He can't find either of them.
Yeah,
he hits fucking Michael Gallup down the seam or whomever they have.
It's going to be a problem.
Who was the white boy they had for a while?
White boy on the fucking Cole Beasley.
Cole Beasley, yeah.
Oh my God, what a pull! I might have to lock that in like 10 weeks from now. Make that a guess the athlete answer.
True.
But I mean, at this point, I really don't know how this is gonna go. If Aaron Rodgers, is Aaron Rodgers, apparently he still is just. He hasn't said shit, done shit.
Well, right now it's like if I was the Steelers, number one, I just lost our best player on the offense. We don't have a running back. I don't see why either of them would want to be in this situation. A-Rod's coming to a team that he thought would be packed full of better players on offense.
Is George Pickens the best player? Was he the best player on their offense?
Well, Najee and George, yeah.
But you're not including DK?
Huh?
You're not including DK?
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
I forgot.
DK
Oh,
Metcalf's
what the
a Steeler.
fuck? Oh yeah, then fucking A-Rod can go all the way. How the fuck did I forget
No,
DK's a
no,
Steeler?
no, no. Aaron Rodgers can still go there, but it's like, why not have Aaron Rodgers be able to throw to DK and George Pickens?
Yeah, why they fucked that up so bad.
And
Also, don't trade him.
and then you had Pat Fairmuth too. It's like
Like,
that's
how
a
big of an issue could have George Pickens been?
I don't know, it's like, would he really?
I'm gonna be honest. Tomlin might have to check his ego if he wants to win. If you want to win, you just traded away what your second best receiver, but last year your best receiver for a third and fifth. Why like you're not going to be the head coach
I
by the
mean,
time you get to use those picks.
he wins his 9 games. He's gonna be a coach. We're gonna die before Mike
Well,
Tomlin.
now it's like who else could they have gotten just in during his tenure that could have made their team better that he didn't want because of attitude issues?
I mean, I don't know, because there's obviously, I mean, it's the NFL. A lot of players have attitude issues, and we kind of just talked about how Shador's attitude is not the reason he fell, even though it partially was. Like,
Well, I mean, I think him, but the thing is like his life. I just stuttered the fuck up. His life was on display, like
yeah,
every part about his life. So
uh-huh.
any NFL fucking team who sat in an interview with Shador and went, "Oh, whoa, this guy's got an attitude problem." It's like we've seen how he acts
Yeah,
long
yeah.
before any interviews.
Okay, yeah, I'll give that to you. But it's like the same thing. It's like we know how George Pickens is on the field, so it's like I don't see Dak enjoying that. I don't see CD enjoying that. I don't see someone like I look.
But also, I mean, if you're the Cowboys and you got to give up a third and a fifth, and you get George Pickens in a 6th round pick, why would you not?
I get it, but I'm calling this now. By week 8, it's gonna be Micah Parsons on his podcast. Like, yeah, man, George Pickens, George is, he just be crashing out sometimes. Like,
Yep.
you gotta just take the bad with the good. Like, it's gonna be some bullshit like defending
Yep.
George Pickens all year. Just like it'll probably be a problem. I mean, it's the
Sure.
Cowboys. They're not gonna just be successful. That's not how the Dallas Cowboys work. That's not.
No.
It's not how life works, or that's not how the 21st century works, should I say?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
20th century, sure, all day.
Sure.
Cowboys are working.
Win a few.
Not the 21st. So Aaron Rodgers, he'll still have DK, he'll still have Pat, but after that, it's like what? He's got Robert Woods. I see Calvin Austin. I see Scotty Miller. Still no running back.
No running back.
So I don't know what their plan is, but Jerry trade for a crash out. Will it work? I think it'll work as well as like what you would expect from a good Cowboys team. Like, if the Cowboys are healthy, maybe they could win 10, 11 games, go to the playoffs, first or second round exit.
Yep.
And honestly,
and that's if everyone stays healthy.
And it's gonna be a problem. The NFC East alone is gonna be a problem. So I mean,
yeah,
first round exit
but,
for the Cowboys if they have a good year.
Huh?
I said first round exit for the Cowboys if they have a good year.
Exactly. Like, if they make the playoffs, they're not doing anything. But is this not a weird trade? Like, wouldn't there be a bunch of other teams who would give up a third and a fifth?
No, well,
like, why did the Steelers trade to the Cowboys?
Do you want to know what I saw?
What?
They were trying to trade him during the draft.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
But they said teams were laughing at the idea of trading for George Pickens.
For real?
Well, I mean, but you're saying, why wouldn't teams do that? It's like teams had no.
You're saying that it's laughable that they would get George Pickens in the trade?
They were laughing at the idea of trading for George Pickens. Period.
Really?
They were laughing at the idea of acquiring George Pickens.
I thought they would be laughing at the idea of him being on the trade market.
No.
Or him being on the market.
Dallas, that's not even the first receiver they went for. Do you know who they shopped for before? I was about to say CD. Before Pickens?
Devontae?
Do you want to know who Dallas thought was a better option before George Pickens? Rashad Bateman. They
Really?
called Baltimore about Rashad Bateman before
Really?
making the move for George Pickens. So that tells you alone. They're going to take a quiet guy who's going to do maybe 70% of what George Pickens can do over what George Pickens can do with that attitude. I'm just
Damn.
saying, go
Well, they
Ravens.
didn't.
So, no, but they did. The Ravens didn't trade Rashad.
Yeah,
The Ravens
I
didn't
know, but
want
if
to
you
trade Rashad.
like, if Dallas threw the right number,
No,
really?
Devin, what did we just talk about? We are Super Bowl contenders. We do not need to fucking put any more holes in this boat. Like, why?
Agreed.
What are we doing here? We
Agreed.
we no, because when fucking
Would you guys have traded for George Pickens?
no.
George, I don't know why we're shitting on George Pickens. Like, when did this flip? We all know he has attitude problems. We knew that since the day he got drafted, since his college career. Why is this now an issue? He's a top receiver in the league.
No, he's not. What's a top receiver in the league to you?
Top 15. But with top 10, top 5 potential. He's young.
Okay, but no. The problem is first of all, he's not that versatile. He's known for just really running go routes and then comes to the sideline and complains he doesn't get the ball every single play. I mean, he's not did you not see him all last year just being the biggest douchebag on the field? Like, did you forget about all that? Like, just fighting every player, yanking people by the face mask, just bitching at his quarterback.
The face mask thing was after the game ended, so who cares?
Oh, you mean like when the clock hit 0?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So who cares? So if Puka's brother slapped the guy during the game, it would have been a problem. But because he slapped the
No,
kid,
I'm saying it wasn't a flag. Didn't impact the game.
no, I mean it definitely.
George Pickens was also who was their quarterback last year?
Okay, it wasn't affecting the game,
Poopy Russ.
but it was showing that he was a dick.
Yes.
After a loss, so you're not doing enough to win for your team, and you're being a douchebag.
Yeah, but if you're the Steelers, I mean, was it not a few months ago when DK got traded that everyone was like, "Holy shit!" Doing the edits, DK and George Pickens, this is gonna be sick.
No, there's definitely potential, but at the same time, no, it was also like, wow, like these are 2 crash outs.
Sure, but now Dallas has George Pickens.
Yes.
And they, like, best case scenario, they can be a problem.
I don't think so.
No, not a problem, not a contender, but a problem. Like, they can go and win more games than they would have without him.
I guess. I mean, but like, what is a game or 2?
A lot.
I don't think George Pickens is a game or 2 difference.
I think he could be. For this shitty fucking Dallas team.
But okay, so
they've been looking for a second receiver the entire time CD's been there.
But I'm trying to figure out. So Dallas is a shitty team, but George Pickens is a top receiver in the league. So what is like Micah and CD? Like, what are they? Are they part of this shitty team?
If you like, the argument for CD is that he can't do everything alone. He's great, but he can't do everything alone. He needs help. George Pickens is help.
Okay.
That brings the team up.
Sure, a game. Maybe.
And then Micah is the lone guy. They got no one in the secondary who can do shit.
But at the end of the day, it's Dak Prescott dropping back and making the decision. So I mean,
agreed. But
But
now he has a second. He has got a second receiver now.
Is this the first time in his career he's had 2 good receivers?
Basically.
Are you really gonna make me pull up his like 10 years in the NFL to prove to you that he's had 2 good receivers in 1 year?
But I again, I'm not saying that he's gonna have the best year of his fucking career. I'm just saying that in divisional games, in like games that they're supposed to lose, they could win.
Sure, maybe he'll have a couple games where he throws for 400 yards and everybody's gonna go, "Oh, Dak's an MVP," and then the Cowboys are gonna do what the Cowboys do.
And they lose in the playoffs, but still,
But George Pickens is going from one team that's gonna lose in the playoffs to another team that might lose if they make the playoffs.
Yes.
So yeah, it's great. It's a fantastic move statistic wise for Dak Prescott, possibly, but
so the Steelers have a problem with George Pickens' attitude.
Yeah.
But they're waiting on a guy who doesn't know who he's married to, is retiring, is not retiring, is doing drugs.
That's how bad his fucking attitude must be.
No, that's how dumb Mike Tomlin
No,
is,
no, no,
dude.
no, no, no. That's how
We
bad his
can't
fucking
sit here and
attitude
call
is.
Mike Tomlin a genius, and he hasn't done shit in 15
Who
years.
called Mike Tomlin a genius?
Well, he's still a head coach, and
Mike
he's still a
Tomlin.
fucking...
Mike Tomlin can be an idiot, and George Pickens can have an attitude. They can be
I
two
agree.
things. Two things can coincide. But at the same time, if Mike Tomlin is like, yo, I'm not about to. If I'm Mike
All right, but what
Tomlin,
happens if they don't get Aaron? Now what? Now you just traded for DK and you traded away George Pickens for what? Mason Rudolph.
I don't know. I don't know.
He should be fired.
They call Tyler Huntley, dude. Okay, this is okay. All right, maybe we forgot how the NFL works. Okay, so they're not gonna fire the head coach for moves made in the head office.
Well, you just said that he was a part of the Pickens trade.
Yes, Michael.
But the GM makes the final moves, of course.
Mike Tomlin, yes, he pushed for the trade, the same way that he pushes for any other receiver he wants or doesn't want. I mean, that's kind of his thing. He's a wide receiver guru. He fucking makes these receivers great, and then they crash out, and he gets rid of them. I mean, that's
and he gets nothing from it.
Gets nothing from it. Even like I said, AB, fucking Chase Claypool, Juju, Deontay Johnson, Martavius Bryant. I mean, there's been guys who.
Who's the other yo?
There are plenty of other yos. There are so many yos. There's plenty of yos. There you go. I mean, there's. I was for when you said that, I thought of Plaxico Burress.
I'm always thinking about Plaxico Burress.
Yeah, sometimes. It's
a daily thing.
I randomly think of Plaxico Burress. But George Pickens to the Cowboys, I don't know. If you like it, good on you. I don't. It's the Cowboys. I don't.
But here's the thing. It's a move for literally nothing. They gave up nothing.
But I also think it's a move for nothing. George Pickens will be on a different team 2 years from now, guaranteed.
Sure, but I don't think it takes anything away from this team.
2 years max, he's on the Cowboys.
Who's on the Cowboys?
He'll be on the Cowboys for maybe 2 years.
Sure.
Maybe. So cool. Yeah, okay, we traded. It didn't work. We'll probably...
For a third and a fifth. And you got a 6th round pick. And George Pickens.
Yeah, no, nobody said it wasn't a fleece, but it's not... There's a reason one team wanted him who doesn't make moves like this. They're like, fuck it. Well, we got to get somebody. No other teams want to trade for him.
Maybe they're wrong. Maybe the Steelers are wrong.
Well, I'm just saying. It's like you're saying we can't call Mike Tomlin a genius. We can't say that George Pickens is bad. Is Jerry Jones a fucking brainiac all of a sudden?
No, but if the Steelers are out calling people, yo, do you want this fucking bum for nothing?
Do you think the Steelers...
No one's going to say yes?
Do you think the Steelers called and said, yo, do you want George Pickens for a bag of chips? Like, I'm sure there were negotiations that led to every team
Sure, but they were willing to give him up for a bag of chips.
Yes.
So they called every team and they said, do you want this guy for a bag of chips?
Well, what are you confused about?
What were we just talking about? No, I'm confused as to why. Like, Jerry's not an idiot for this. All he did was pick up the phone and say, sure, whatever. Give us another receiver for free.
Yep, sure, but it's Jerry. Okay.
I'm not calling Jerry a genius. I'm saying Jerry's an idiot, but
because Jerry Jones is an idiot. Mike Tomlin.
But this isn't stupid.
Mike Tomlin might possibly
to
be
pick
an
up
idiot.
the phone and say yes, I'll take George Pickens.
But is Mike Tomlin an idiot, or are the Steelers an idiot for crediting mediocrity?
Both.
So I mean they give Mike Tomlin credit for making the playoffs every year. I mean, they could have stopped gassing him up years ago, and we wouldn't even be sitting here having this conversation about Mike Tomlin.
Agreed.
He wouldn't be a Pittsburgh Steelers coach.
No.
But he's going to be a coach for the Steelers until he decides.
Well, I also think that they're just so adamant about having 3 coaches in their entire history. They don't want to be a team with a coaching carousel.
I mean, they don't. I mean, they can have more than 3 and not have a carousel.
I know, but they're such, like, they love the fact that they have 3 head coaches in history.
Yeah, but, like, people die. So, like, one day they're going to have to get a new head coach.
Tomlin's still young, bro.
No, yeah, I get it, but like 80
Tomlin's
years,
the
like
youngest out
okay,
of the three head
like
coaches.
100 years from now, like they're gonna have a new coach.
Yeah.
They're not gonna like freeze Mike Tomlin in a fucking chamber and bring him out
No,
every
I mean,
Sunday.
yeah, Coward left. Who was their? I don't know the fucking first guy's name.
Actually, you know what? Um, you know what? I almost said Tom Landry, but that's Cowboys.
That was the name in my head as well.
That might be what the Steelers do. They might just freeze Mike Tomlin and bring him out every Sunday. I mean, at this point, when he does, when in 80 years from now or whatever,
Just
Bears,
roll him out.
yeah, they will, Star Wars style. They will bring him out in that
Yep.
chamber, and he will coach each Sunday and go right back in there. Um, okay, moving on from George Pickens, I have a question for you.